Well, hello, my friends. This is Kevin, the Homemaker husband. Once again, thank you for choosing to spend a few moments with us. This video here, you're going to see a grocery haul, an Amazon haul. Michelle had ordered a few things on Amazon, and they came. So we will be showing you those things. Also, I'm going to take a moment right now to say this. For those of you that watched our live last night, we also showed you another little Amazon haul, a few things that we ordered because it was Prime Days. One of the things that I showed was a set of kitchen tongs that we bought. And I hadn't even opened them. They were still in the package, and each one of them, and it was a pack of 3, each one of them was in its own individual package. I wish, and I said at the time that I wished I had opened them because it was really noisy, the packaging, but also the quality of these, and they're the good ones that you bump on the bottom and they open and they lock in the closed position. They're really surprisingly good quality. You know, like I think we bought these for $8 or $9 for a set of 3. And they're all the same, excellent quality. So we will get good gear out of these, and they were a very good price. And I'll show you the name there if I can get it lined up. And of course it's probably backwards. Walfos, W-A-L-F-O-S. That's probably how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But yeah, these are really good quality. Also, I want to just take a moment to say this about our gift card draw. If you watched last night, you know that we have discovered a tragic flaw in our plan. And I never mentioned this, I guess, because we were still, I don't want to say worked out, but that's basically what we were. We were still in shock at the concept that outside of Canada, we can't send Amazon gift card via email. We can't do it. So for anybody that wants to participate in the draw, and we wish that everybody that is subscribed could and would, you'll have to have PayPal, and then we can transfer you the money that way. For those of you that are in Canada, you can still get an Amazon gift card emailed. So that's not an issue. Not for any Canadian, it's not an issue. If you're subscribed and you enter and your name is drawn, you'll just get an Amazon gift card. It gets a little convoluted, but if you go back and watch the live, we explain it in a little more detail there. So there is that. Okay, so let's get right into this video and you can see what we got. Okay, starting right here on the right and going left. There's quite a few items here, as I said, so I will try to show you. She just got 1 Roma tomato. Now, the last one we had, we cut it up and cooked it with our eggs, scrambled eggs. We did sort of like a little breakfast hash of our own and chopped up that. Put it in there, about half of it, and was it ever good? So we would probably do something like that again with at least just half of it. We got a bag of carrots here, and a bag of these macaroni noodles. You'll notice 454 grams, 1 pound. Michelle was quite surprised at the price. She got a couple of these little bags of mixed nuts for me to take in my lunch one day, or 2 different days, I guess. She bought a bag of these sunflower seeds as well. I will, whatever it says here on the back, I'll be mindful of that, and I'll take some of them. I do like sunflower seeds quite well, so I'll be able to eat that for a week or 2. She got a lettuce. Now this is a head lettuce and it's a substitution. Not necessarily the one she wanted, but we will eat it just the same. She also got a box of these Breton crackers. They're very good, very good. We got another 1 liter of the coffee cream that I've been using. So there's that. She got 2 pounds of this ground beef here, medium. She got me another tube of this Chris Brothers bologna. Still like it. I'm not eating it up as fast as I was, but I still am eating it. So she got another tube here because I'm pretty much up against it. Now, 2 of these Black Diamond marble cheddar cheese, and another one of the lactose free that she needs to eat. And also a package of this. This is the French. It's Genoa salami. Very good stuff. And I think that she actually said that I could take a couple slices of this in my lunch as well. So we got that. We're completely out of Kleenex. We're down to our last literal box. We need to pick up like a case of it, but that's a Costco thing. So sometime in the near future, we will get that. But she got 2 boxes of these Kleenex here. Royale tissues, velour, they say. They're supposed to be very soft. They are nice Kleenex, but. And also, same story with the paper towel. We're on our last leg with those, but also that's a Costco thing. So she just got this 1 jumbo roll for now, and that'll have to do us, right? She bought a bag of these great value Brussels sprouts. 500 grams there, so more than a pound of Brussels sprouts. And a bag of this Green Giant, there's the French, asparagus, pea, and mushroom risotto. That's probably very good, and that, as I say, is the French side. And I guess it's the English side as well. So this, I wonder what it's going to be like, but it's probably very good. She got a little tiny dish of this guacamole, and in all fairness to her, 227 grams, so half a pound. But it's not very much, and she said she couldn't really tell on the app how big it was, and she was shocked by the price, which she will be putting up. And another one of these roasted red pepper hummus, the great, or I guess it's great value, basically fresh market. I shouldn't say great value because I know that Superstore and No Frills carries this product line as well. So, but this is a real good price compared to the, and of course the name slips my mind as soon as I go to say it, but it'll come to me when I'm done here. We needed another, there's the French, non-stick tin foil for the barbecue. These are nice wide sheets, 35 feet, I say. Yeah. And that's the English heavy duty non-stick. That is really good stuff. We use a fair bit of it to line our cookie sheets, and yes, anything that you need to wrap in foil to put on the barbecue, we use that. So Pedialyte that Michelle requires a little bit every day or every other day to help her stay hydrated is on special right now. So I picked up 2 bottles. I had to run inside and get that. And she got this bottle of balsamic vinaigrette salad dressing, Renee's brand, for salads that we plan to make this weekend. Just 1 can of this holiday luncheon meat. We eat that some. When the opportunity arises, I'll get a few cans of that for the store. Also, a bottle of this vitamin B1. We both need all the B vitamins. So she got that one to go along with the other B vitamins that we already have. A bottle of this Finesse hairspray, because you don't see it so much when I'm wearing my hat, but I've been using a little bit of it as well, so we figured we better get some. And these Herbal Essence shampoos that she uses are on special still, or a price rollback, so she got a couple more. These are basically for the store. Now, she had said she could not get the Great Value eggs that we usually buy, so she got these Maritime Pride eggs, a dozen. And that will certainly get us through. She'll put the price up. I expect they're a little more than what we ordinarily pay, but I would imagine the Great Value ones come right from here as well anyway. So also 2 of these for me to use over the next week or 2. And moving right along, another bag of this Great Value bacon breakfast hash that you've seen us buy many times before. We like it. No reason not to, I guess. And she got a bag of these prime chicken fingers or chicken tenders, whatever you call them. They are very good, so we're completely out. This is something that she can do very quickly for herself if she wants to change her lunch plans when I'm not here. So yeah, we keep them on hand. Another bag of hamburger buns for sandwiches, hamburgers, you name it, we will use it for that. And another loaf of the whole wheat bread that we use. We use about a loaf a week, really, so we're getting pretty close. And a new tea kettle. Michelle used the one we have the other day, and she just thought it was getting old, and it is old, and there's a lot of limestone built up in it, and I know you can get it out, but she just thought it was looking mangy and whatnot, and it is. It's showing its age. So we got a new Toastmaster kettle. She'll probably put the price up, but it's pretty bottom of the line, pretty basic, but it'll work, right? We're talking about boiling water. So that is this evening's grocery haul. There will be more. Stay tuned. Okay, I just thought I would take a moment to show you a few things Michelle had ordered from Amazon, because we're doing a little bit of that in with the new and out with the old. So what we're doing here is the bulk of the order was like new bed linens. So this is a whole sheet set, right? So probably a fitted sheet, a top sheet, and a couple pillowcases. That is generally what a sheet set is. So these ones, as you can see, they're very pretty, and they will match one of the bedspreads that we already have. And then there's 2 flannel pillowcases here, standard size, right? And then there's a flat sheet, okay? And then there's this here, which is a fitted sheet as well. Now, we pretty much have to run flannel sheets year-round for the ease of Michelle's life. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, if any of you are wondering, not always the coolest for the summer months, but we have a good working air conditioner, so it works out okay. She also ordered 2 more of these. These are the dairy-free craft dinner. We like this. Michelle tolerates it a lot better than she does regular craft dinner, and Walmart just hasn't had it. They had it for a few weeks and then it was gone, and they've never got it back. And she also ordered this thing here. This is to help her do buttons, to do up buttons and undo buttons. It has a nice big handle. She has kitchen utensils that I believe I've showed you before that are pretty much the same kind of handle as that, pretty much identical. But this is to help pull buttons through. Sometimes she has a little trouble doing up the buttons or undoing buttons on some of the shirts she has, so she got that, which is a very good idea. And she had asked me if I wanted anything when she was putting in this order, and I said just butt out, right? So I'm going to show you this garish looking tool, and for those of you that are sportsmen, sportswomen, anyway, this is what it is, what it says it is. Butt out. This is obviously the new improved version, but used in field dressing animals. and it is as the name implies. So that's what I got. And yeah, small Amazon order. Okay, so now that we've got all that out of the road, I guess we'll wrap this video up. Once again, I just want to thank you for watching, for commenting, for subscribing. I hope if you're watching, you will subscribe. We do know that, and for us, we're fortunate, but 48% on average of the people that watch are not subscribed. I believe I have that number correct. And that's really high. I've heard some other YouTubers say that, less than 2 or 3%. Some say less than 10% of the people that watch are subscribed. Obviously, those are the larger channels. But I do hope that you would support us by subscribing and leaving a comment. Please check. I know I talk about this maybe too much. Please check to make sure you are still subscribed. And we've had quite a few people tell us that they've missed the live or got into it when we're almost done or whatnot because they're not getting notifications. So just double check that your notifications are on. We are going to be trying to do some more lives. And yes, now that we've figured out how to do it, basically, we'll be doing Q&A pretty soon, right? So maybe the next one, we haven't even decided yet. Now, I've asked for our subscribers, the ones that are praying people, hopefully Christians. I know lots of people say they pray. I've asked that you would pray for Michelle, especially as she's had a really bad pain week, and pray for both of us, because we had a rough week past. We're hoping the next week is better. That being said, if you send me your prayer request, know that I pray for you individually. If you give me a name, I'll pray by name. It doesn't matter. God knows anyway, right? He knows your situation. He knows your need. But I pray collectively as a group for all of you as well. Now, I want to read, actually it's 3 Bible verses that I've been reading, and I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown of the meaning of them. And I almost said what they mean to me, but I can't emphasize enough that what a Bible verse means to me or you, like you've all been in situations, if you've gone to any church groups or anything like that, probably where you've heard at some point, maybe it's something that happens all the time, maybe it's just something that you've heard one time, and of course there's a possibility that none of you have heard it, or some of you have not heard it, but where people say, they'll read a verse and then ask people, what does this verse mean to you? That's nonsense. It doesn't matter what it means to me or you. What matters is, what did the Holy Spirit mean when he used the author to write that verse at that time? That's what's important, right? So anyway, I believe that I'm on message when I read these verses. Now, I want to preface that by saying one of the reasons I believe that I had such a rough week last week was because I believe God is answering my prayer when I pray these verses. And we always want to think that when God answers a prayer, it means bunnies and rainbows, right? But that's not always the case. Sometimes God's answer to prayer means turmoil and pain, maybe persecution, you name it, sickness, whatever. So let me read the verses. And as most of you would know by now, if you've watched any length of time, when I read the Psalms still this day, I like to read them in the NIV. And there's a reason for that, but I just like to read the Psalms in the NIV. I read them, of course, in my NASB and sometimes in the ESV. I just am partial to the NIV when it comes to the Psalms. Psalm 119 is such a tremendous psalm, and it's all about basically the glory of Scripture, God's given word, right? In a nutshell. So I'm going to read, it's Psalm 119, verses 133 to 135. And it says, "Direct my footsteps according to your word. Let no sin rule over me. Redeem me from human oppression, that I may obey your precepts. Make your face shine on your servant, and teach me your decrees." So, I, like many others, tend to, what's the proper word? Overlook or not see some of the areas of my own sin. And I'm as guilty probably as anyone else, more so maybe, of trying to maybe justify my sin. And you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. I'm as guilty as anyone can be of harboring sin that, and I'm laying myself quite bare here, of harboring a sin that I enjoy, I like, so I make excuses for it. So in praying this prayer, and God knows the motive of your heart, and when you pray, if you're really very sincere, and God answers your prayer, then in this case, I'm praying, direct my footsteps according to your word, and let no sin rule over me. So, without going into any details, it wasn't anything that you would consider immoral at all, nothing like that. And I'm not going to say what it was, and I knew that it was wrong to do this, but I persisted in doing it anyway and excused it off. Well, this week, God made me understand in no uncertain terms that I can't do that, right? So, indeed, he was making his face shine on me because he's in the process of sanctifying me, a process that will never be done. But because he's in that process, and we can have no sin, and we have no secret sin, right? So, in exposing this and making it well known that I have to give this up, and I hope you won't judge me too harshly for admitting that I had a sin, and as I said, it wasn't immoral, it wasn't damaging or anything like that, as it was, but it was still a sin. So anyway, that's what it means here when the writer says, redeem me from human oppression. What are humans oppressed by? We're oppressed by sin. Redeem me from human oppression, that I may obey your precepts, and make your face shine on your servant, and teach me your decrees. So even though it was a painful lesson, that's God redeeming me from that sin, and in the process making his face shine on me, right? And moving me towards the goalpost of sanctification a little bit. Now I hope that you won't judge me too harshly. I am putting myself out there in the hopes that you can learn from my mistakes, I don't even want to say mistake, learn from my sin. If we examine ourselves, each and every one of us, we will find a sin that we're holding on to, right? Yeah, and God isn't finished with me or you or anybody else, but I was so blessed by that. As I said, even though it was painful, even though it was uncomfortable, I was blessed to have that sin exposed. And when I say exposed, only Michelle and I, it's not like some great cardinal sin that was on the news or anything like that, because it wasn't anything like that, but still it was sin. God makes no differentiation, if that is even a word, from a big sin or a little sin. It's all sin. God hates it. We need to hate our sin as much as he does. So if there's somebody out there that needed to hear this and can learn from my sin so that you don't do it, or that you decide we've got to set this aside, and God will help. God will certainly use his Spirit. I shouldn't even say help. God will do it, right? If we're sincere. And I'll tell you, when you pray these kind of prayers, you better be sincere, because they're powerful. So anyway, hopefully that helps somebody. Hopefully I haven't turned you off on me either. So anyway, that's it for this video. Once again, I want to say thank you so very much for watching. Please subscribe. Check to make sure you are subscribed. Comment, give us a thumbs up. It all helps. We're trying to get this channel to grow a little bit. And I know some of you have been with us for a long time. The channel has kind of changed a little bit. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about some of the same topics that we did in earlier videos at a later date. But once again, it's Kevin, the Homemaker husband, saying God bless and bye for now.